What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, and today we're diving into a very important topic that I desperately need to fix, and that is money. I know you might have read the title, There's No Excuse to Be Broke in 2025, and think that might be a little bit harsh, but for me, that's the truth. There's like no excuses anymore. I'm running out of excuses. It's time to fix this money. Stick with me. Trust me, I get it. 2025, economy is not the greatest. Things are getting more expensive. I get it, especially coming from someone that's about to have a baby. It might sound a little crazy for me to make this statement that there's no excuse, but we're going to get into what I'm going to do to improve my finances and get things on track this year. Because at this point, I have to build a better relationship with money for myself and most importantly, my family. As a new mother, I believe it's my responsibility to build a stable financial future for my daughter. And just to be honest, not being financially stable, that mess gets old after a while. Living paycheck to paycheck, every time you get paid, the money goes right out. Time to make some changes. No excuses, like I said. And yes, we all can do it in this economy. We just got to make a few little tweaks. Now, of course, I'm no expert, but there's some changes that I've made and I've seen the results already. So let's dive right into it. First is mindset. You got to fix your mindset in order to switch your money around. Without even noticing it, I was stuck in a scarcity mindset, thinking that there's never going to be enough. I'm always going to have my debt. I'm always going to be behind on bills. Once the money come in, it goes right back out. So that mindset was not a good thing, thinking it's never going to be enough. Because you think it's not going to be enough, then guess what? It's not going to be enough. And remember, it's not about the money you make, it's about how you manage the money. One mindset shift that I made is not thinking of everything in a totality. I used to get down on myself. I'm like, I'm behind on my retirement. I have to pay for the bills that are coming in. I have a new baby coming. I have to save. I used to think about all these things that I have to do, and it just gets me down. So I end up doing nothing about it. So instead of just thinking of everything I have to do, you can focus on just one thing at a time. Like if you complete a no spending week, hooray, celebrate. That's good. Even doing that, I realized the amount of money I was spending on just nothing. Another thing I started doing is sticking to a grocery budget. Not spending much money for like a week. It doesn't sound like much, but eventually that adds up. So that's a little shift that I made. I used to think of everything and saying it would never get accomplished. I'm so far away. To be honest, that's just a loser mentality. It is. And I just had to shift that. Nothing was going to change until I shift that around. And now I'm seeing those little tiny wins start to pile up and make a difference. How the saying go? The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. Something like that. You get it. Now, after you work on your mindset, which may take a little while, so take little baby steps. Like I said, start with one thing and then go to another. Take baby step with the mindset. But after you get your mind kind of together, you have to start tracking. Nothing is going to work until you start tracking every little penny. I mean, coming in and out of your accounts. I know we like to say all of our money goes to bills, like every little penny, all the money goes to bills. But do we really know? I know I didn't. I'm not gonna speak for you. I know I didn't. If you was to ask me how much I spent in a month or even a week, I really wouldn't know the exact numbers. I would go off of what I think. And what you think you spend is usually a lot less than what you actually spend. So doing something as simple as tracking everything was such an eye-opener for me. Now, before making any drastic changes, I just pulled up like old statements just to see what I was spending throughout last year, like every month, every day, and it got a little crazy. Like, I'm a snack girly. If I'm going past the gas station or gotta get some gas, I'ma hop in the store and buy a little bag of chips, a little sparkling water, which of course might not sound like much isolated, but those little $5, $7, $8, however much your snacks are, can add up after day or week after week. At the end of the year, that little stuff adds up. And you know we live in a delivery age. I know y'all got some Amazon packages sitting outside your door. So things like that might not sound like much really can add up, and you would never know if you don't track it. Now, I don't care if it's a 25-cent piece of bubble gum. It has to go on my spreadsheet, because once you track it, it becomes real. There's no escaping it. You see what you spent, and you see that it wasn't necessary for you to get that, especially at the time that you did. Those impulse purchases could get you in trouble. Now, there are a ton of budgeting templates and apps out there. I'll show the one that I'm using, but you just have to find one that works for you. Me personally, I need a template that you could track your budget and your expenses. I needed both. I need to see both at all times. So the next thing I'm doing in 2025 to not be broke anymore is diversifying my income. Relying on one income is risky business. Not only are prices going up, I'm not saying they're not, prices are increasing, but jobs are not loyal nowadays. You know what? They've probably never been, at least in my lifetime. So it was important to me to have income coming from different places. It's important to find a skill that you already have and learn how to monetize that and see how you can make money. For me, that's graphic design. I'm really excited to get back into freelancing and then eventually having a little small graphic design studio. Another way I'm going to make money this year is by high yield savings. But as you put money in your savings, that can add up. And you can use the interest you made to do whatever you want. Not do whatever you want. Don't be a little crazy with it. Now, extra income isn't just about the day-to-day expenses. It's also about having a little cushion for retirement. Ow. You don't want me to talk about money? Goodness, girl. So we're working on our mindset, started tracking our money. Now it's time to set this money in different accounts. Now, I'm not the type to have all my money sit in one account. My eyes get all big. I'm like, ooh, look at all this money. That's so ridiculous, but you have to know where you are in life. So for me, I have different accounts for different reasons. So for me, I have different accounts for different purposes. I have one checking account that I call my holding account. All earned income goes in that account. Nothing gets spent out of this account. The purpose is just to hold the money until I figure out where it needs to go. And my second account is for the fixed bills. Now in this account, I know how much money that has to be in there to cover the bills for the month. They're the fixed bills, fixed account. The next account is for my expenses that can vary, such as like groceries, gas, toiletries, things like that. Now this account gets a percentage of the amount of money that I make. I'll get into that a little later. And next I have a high yield savings account. High yield savings, that's very important. There are a lot of banks out here that don't give you much for saving your money. So make sure it's a high yield savings. Now this account holds my emergency fund and any little thing that I'm saving up for. Now if you take my approach of having different accounts, most accounts, they really don't matter which one you use, but I do suggest you get a SoFi account for at least one of your accounts. Well, really two, because they have checking and savings account that you both earn interest on. A lot of checking accounts, you don't get interest, and a lot of savings account at these big banks, it's not much anyway. So I would highly recommend at least one of these accounts be a SoFi, because you get 0.5% back on your checking account for interest, and I believe 4% high interest for your savings account. If you just have your money sitting there in your accounts, the next month you get paid a little interest. So if you're interested, I'll leave my SoFi link down in the description. You'll get $25 when you sign up. Every little bit counts. But ultimately, the accounts that you open and how many you open is just up to you. You may think that my accounts, how many I have, a little too much. That's fine. As long as you have a checking and a savings account, do you. And the bonus account is a brokerage account where you can do investing and saving for retirement. Now, all this is good. The planning is nice, but it is pointless if you don't take action and stay consistent. It's not about being perfect, particularly at the beginning. So I was coming from making financial decisions without even thinking about it. So I'm just making little changes here and there and staying consistent. If you're a cold turkey type of person and can just stop spending and saving all your money, that is great. Actually, I wish I had a little bit of that in me. But it's important to know yourself. So I'm just going to stay consistent, stay tracking, have an accountability partner. I think that's really important, to have somebody to hold you accountable. You can just speak with, maybe share your budget spreadsheet. Now for me, that's my husband. We are different when it comes to money. He has saved his money now. So he is someone that can help me. So I highly suggest, if you are trying to make these changes and not be broke in 2025, you find some accountability partner. If you need help or just want to build a community of people that are in the same boat, just trying to do the same thing with their money, make sure you leave a comment. Let's chat. Let's connect. So I started with a plan and a rule for myself to follow. For example, no more random grocery runs. You can make a meal with what you have in the house. Sometimes if I think of something that I want to eat and if I don't have that ingredient, I will go to the store and then guess what? More than that ingredient will come home with me. So you know yourself, you know what rules you need to put in place. Another very, very important rule that I set for myself is living off a percentage of my income. Now, after all the non-negotiable bills are paid, you know, like rent, utilities, savings. Yes, savings first. I will take the leftover money and divide that into percentages. So for example, from the leftover money, I would take 5% of that and have that go towards my toiletries. Now, 5% only adds up to $30. Guess what? That's what you have. We all need to brush our teeth and wash our face, but we don't need to go to Sephora and buy a whole skincare routine. If you can't get your toiletries with that 5%, I don't know what to tell you. Go out and make more money. Don't spend more than you have to. You know, I'm even doing this for my daughter. She's not about to come in and take all my money. Like her clothes, it's going to be a set percentage of the extra money that I have that didn't go to bills or whatever. A percentage of that is going to go to clothes, and we're going to figure it out from there. So in the comments, tell me what your rules are going to be for next month. Even with these rules and the plan I have set in place, it's not about being perfect. You still want to track every day and see if you abide by your rules that you set for yourself. And at the beginning, maybe you follow the rules 50% of the time. And then you could challenge yourself for the next month to follow the rules 60%, then 80%. And then maybe eventually you'll get to following your rules 100% of the time. Just think about it. Following the rules 50% of not spending your money just all willy-nilly, I'm telling you, you're going to see a difference. So hang in there. 50% is better than 0%. So there you have it, the steps I'm taking to becoming more financially stable and not be broke in 2025. Remember, it's a journey, not a race. Be consistent, give yourself grace, celebrate those small wins. Again, let me know in the comments the little steps that you're taking to improve your financial future. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you guys for watching. Peace, people.